What's up, everyone? It's your Commish, bringing you a very rare special announcement video here. It's just something that I wanted to create, just to kind of address some questions you guys have had in terms of the pending shakeup in our league. As you all know, Ross is going to be leaving our league here, sadly, here at the end of the season that he announced a couple weeks ago. First, Ross, I just want to say, man, it's going to suck to see you go. You've been here probably, I think you've been here since this first season, right? So you've been like our main guy who's been in the league year in, year out. So it's going to suck to see you go. But also, I also want to address the fact that with that, there are, obviously some questions that people are having in terms of like the nature of it, right? Because we never had someone in the league announce that they're leaving the league going into next season, especially in a keeper league format, right? Which is very tricky. We have draft picks and those types of things, right? So I know a few of you have texted me some concerns in terms of like what we can do to maybe keep something like this happening in the future in terms of like putting a cap on, maybe like putting a cap on how many draft picks you can trade during the season. So then that way, someone, for example, wanted to sell their whole team, right, and then just to try to win that year because they know that they're going to be leaving the following year, right? It's I think some people told me they're not really totally comfortable with accepting those types of trades, right? So I completely understand that, right? You don't want to feel like you're just kind of cashing in or gaining on someone else's, they're leaving, right? So they're not going to have to face any kind of consequences from the draft picks that they're trading away for next year or the year after that, right? And you're also setting up the next person coming into the league to take over that team and that roster for failure in a way, right? Because they don't have any draft picks coming in, right? And so yeah, I completely hear that, guys. So it's unprecedented, right? We've had, I think we had Bobby leave a couple years ago, but that was not something that happened until after the season was over, right? So it wasn't something where it kind of changed the dynamics of trades and thinking and things like that. But yeah, so it's good that this has happened, so that way I can make adjustments, right, in our league and continue to keep it evolving and add some rules to make you guys feel like it's a competitive, fair, and balanced league year in and year out, right? Because stuff like this happens, right? People leave for certain situations, and we completely understand. But we've, understand, like, you want to make sure that you're not just taking advantage and taking the draft picks from someone who's trading them to you just so that they can front load their roster and win it all. But then next year they have, there's no quality draft picks in their roster and you've traded for them, right? So it's definitely a moral thing to it, right? I understand that, guys. But I don't really have a clear answer for that to you for that right now, guys, in terms of like how to go about that. All I can really say is if you feel comfortable making the trade, with Ross or whoever else, go ahead and do so. But if you don't feel comfortable doing so because you don't want to feel like you're just taking draft picks from a future league mates, and putting them in a bad situation and taking advantage of that opportunity, then you don't have to accept the trade either, right? So yeah, there's no protocol with this right now in terms of how to deal with that. So it's really your guys' best judgment about how you guys want to do that this year. But going forward next year, I will implement a rule where I'll put a cap on how many draft picks you can trade away from your own roster mid-season, just to make sure that people aren't feeling like there's just like people loading up for all these players and trading away future picks, and then they're left with like in for lack of a better term, burning down the house but not really having any consequences from it, right? And Ross, we don't blame you for it, man, because we would all probably do the same thing, right? Like if like we knew we're leaving, like, well, I have all these draft picks, I'm not going to use them next year. Might as well load up and build, try to get all the best players I can using picks I'll never use because my last year, right? So completely understand it, but I definitely want to make sure that the league is fair and balanced too. So I'll definitely make changes to that in the off season. I'll definitely get some feedback from you all about that in terms of maybe how many draft picks you guys feel like would be a fair amount to not go above, to trade away for certain players. But yeah, I just wanted to send you guys a video just to let you guys know that I'm aware of that. And go ahead and make your trades with Ross. If he's sending you trades, accept trades at your own discretion. You can, you can't, you don't have to if you don't want to, of course. Same thing as always. But I'll leave that, guys. I'll leave that up to you guys this season. And I know that I've already made a trade with Ross, right? We traded for tight ends and stuff. So it's not something that I'm going to tell you guys not to do, obviously. So you guys want to make trades, you can. But yeah, next year I'll make some changes. All right, guys. Well, I just want to send you guys that video, and then I hope you guys enjoy the recaps and the winner and loser of the week this week too. And guys, feel free to send me text or let me know if you have any questions about any suggestions you have for any changes in the league.